Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. What you just heard there was the sort of distant sound, it's not particularly distinct, of Chris Watts arriving at the airport in North Carolina, and Shanann is there recording it, of course, and her children sort of run out to greet him. And you've really got to watch this video. You've really got to watch to see how he focuses completely on the children, and at the very last minute he turns with kind of a fake deer in the headlights smile, a really sort of over expressed smile, especially from him. He eventually looks at Shanann, and I'm sure his heart is beating a mile a minute. I'm sure he's feeling quite terrified at this point. Because he knows what he's been doing, he knows what he wants to do that day and that night, and he knows that he's sort of got to sort of negotiate without talking to her and without admitting what he's doing. He needs to sort of try and sort of navigate through Shanann and the children and the family without getting caught out worse than he already has. He has been caught out. He's been caught out not communicating very much to Shanann and not answering his calls and acting in a way that's already alerted Shanann, and he knows he's guilty. He knows she's right. And she said to him a couple of things like, "You're out of it from playing." Well, he has been, and he knows he has been. And so now he's here, and I think he's got a guilty conscience. It's quite interesting if you look at that screen grab of him. He's wearing like quite a tight shirt. It's sort of emphasizing his biceps and his shoulders. It's quite a tight fitting shirt as well, and he kind of almost looks like a mixture of Clark Kent and Superman, except he's not really either of them. He's not really a mild-mannered guy, and he's nothing super about him whatsoever. But it is just interesting that shirt that he's wearing, showing off his physique, that's probably the shirt he was wearing when he left Nicole Kessinger. She probably gave him a hug while he was wearing that shirt before she went to work. So something else just to observe in that video, and I'll put a link to this particular section in the description so you can watch it yourself. But you may remember from the previous video that Shanann was concerned about Bella having a really bad injury to her ankle, so much so that she was saying she needs special shoes. Well, there's absolutely no sign of that here. Bella's not limping. She doesn't have a bandage on her feet. She runs to her father, although Cece's sort of ahead of her. It's hard to say, is Cece ahead of her because Cece's just more of a rampager, or is Cece ahead of her because her sister's, there is a little bit of an injury to that foot. It's difficult to say. I don't want to say there was absolutely no injury because I think she was jumping on a trampoline, but I don't think it was really that serious at all. Doesn't look serious from the footage. Now, in the comments to this video showing Chris Watts meeting up with his family again, there is a comment where someone says, "I can't believe that he already knew he was going to kill his children." Then I don't think he did. I don't think at this point he intended to kill his children. I think that thought started to manifest while they were in North Carolina, and perhaps also shortly after that. I think. Hey guys, thanks for listening to that preview of episode 31 in the hashtag 2 years ago today CW series, dealing with the phone data review. There's also a very interesting post from Shanann on this particular day, which sort of reveals her mindset on the 31st. Quite a big incident happened that day as well. Shanann got really sick that evening, and I deal with that in some detail in this episode. It's around about 50 minutes long. On Monday, a brand new audiobook will be available on the $10 tier on Patreon. That's Two-Face Rape of Cassandra. It's one of the highest rated books in the series. So that's something you guys can look forward to on the channel, assuming you are on Patreon. If you haven't joined yet, it's Patreon/TCRS. There's also a pretty interesting video I put up prior to this one on the Madeleine McCann case, just dealing with cadaver dogs and how their legal defense in terms of the Zapata case, which was an American case, how that sort of backfired for them about a year later. It's really, really interesting case that to listen to that. And then there is some merch available also on Patreon, things like coffee mugs. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, it's another reason to join the channel. Wherever you are, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.